Chapter 3 Immovable Object. When Raindrops awoke the next morning, she saw storm clouds in the distance. A cool breeze came with them, rustling the trees and flowers, and a few gusts of crisp wind blew into her room, tickled at her feathers. She yawned, stretching and luxuriated as the remnants of the sleep left her body. For a moment, she thought it was going to be a perfect day. Then someone hammered at her door. Raindrops mumbled downstairs, trying to ignore how the pounding seemed to be forcing its way into her brain, and opened it. Whoever this is, better help! She began before her eyes focused on the bulky, purple pony in front of her. I challenge you to do, said Juggernaut. Raindrop stared at her as her mouth twisted to a scowl of its own accord. For the third time, no! She said. No, no, no! Then I ask again later. And Juggernaut walked away. Arrgh! Raindrop slammed the door, turned and froze as she saw snails in the hallway. What's going on? Asked the cult. Nothing, said Raindrops, unable to think of a good lie on the spot. She made herself grin and add, It doesn't matter. What's the breakfast? Snails nodded, an uneasy expression crossing his face, and tried towards the kitchen. Raindrops saw it to herself and followed. Looking good, said Raindrops as he flew through the sky. Nice cloud formations. Raindrops nodded as he slipped through a thick rain cloud. The weather crew was focusing the clouds for the scheduled rainstorm over the town's outlying farms, leaving the downtown area dry. That way the crops got more water and the shops stayed dry for tourists. Thanks, she called back. Go ahead down below and make sure the bombs are level. Stop any clouds from flying too low and crashing to a tree. You just want to fly through the rain clouds, teased Rainbow Dash. Raindrop smiled at her, then flew high into the sky, reoriented herself, and dove down to the perfect gray clouds. Woo! Cool moisture of the clouds soaked into her coat, and she laughed as the cool water enveloped her body. She burst through the bomb and reoriented herself, wondering if she could sneak in through another couple of trips through the clouds and get back to work. Maybe just one trip, she said, grinning excitement. Just enough to get my pin feathers wet. Raindrops, I challenge you to a duel! The weathermare's good mood vanished as she rolled over and saw Juggernaut standing firmly on ground. No! Snapped Raindrops. Go away! Juggernaut did so, but even when she was gone, it took Raindrops a few minutes of splashing through the clouds to calm herself. And even then, she couldn't recover her good cheer. As a side note, I just come to realize that out of the Lunaverse 6, Raindrops is the random mare. The mare no one really thinks about and will rarely have a cameo in any of the other fics. Shirley? Sure. Carrot Top? Yeah, sometimes. Trixie? Oh, hell yes. Derpy? She's a standard. But Raindrops? Oh, and Lyra? Practically another standard. But Raindrops? Raindrops doesn't really pop up that often, even though she's technically the first pony we see in the opening. And she has had many, many, many cameos in the background, doing random stuff. What I'm saying is I kind of like that we Lunaverse people who enjoy Raindrops have our own little fan pony that no one will ever think about. And yes, I made sure to work to get her little blind bag figure. It's all mine. When it was time for lunch, Raindrops borrowed a cloud from the weather patrol and flew it across town, far from her scheduled patrol route, and anywhere that Juggernaut might expect to find her. When she was away from the fields and hovering over Ponyville Elementary, she opened her lunchbox and sighed happily as the sense of the sandwich within tickled her muzzle. Grilled eggplant and melted mozzarella cheese on fresh-baked ciabatta bread with onions, peppers, and a garlic pesto aioli. It was a lot of work, but sometimes only her favorite sandwich cake can help her get through the day. She opened her mouth to take a bite. Raindrops, I challenge you to a duel! Raindrops' host smashed together in anger, splattering her sandwich all over her face and barrel. Scowling, she poked her head through the cloud and looked down at Juggernaut, who was standing down on the field just outside the schoolhouse. How does you know I'd be here? She demanded. I followed you from farms. Raindrops' scowled jaw clenched. Are you seriously going to follow me around all day? Juggernaut nodded merrily. For a moment, Raindrop's vision went red, but then she managed to call back a troll. Oh, not again, she hissed. And it will be no next time! And the time after that, and every other time, I don't want to fight you, go away! Juggernaut shrugged. If you do not want to fight now, I ask again later. At the launch. Before Raindrops could eject, the school bell rang, and Foles began trying out. Raindrops glanced at them and saw snails chasing troublesome in the schoolyard. He was saying. I took a picture of you with that magic spell Tracy taught me. I saw you switching Tootsie Flute. I did not, he protested. She got a cupcake frosting on her face, and I was just trying to lick it off. Trouble like Tootsie, a few Foles chanted, causing the cult to bless and scurry away. Hi! Applebloom pointed a hoe towards Juggernaut. It's that real Black Pony and those cool sword tricks! So he runs to the fence, followed by the other Foles. It's Juggernaut! Sell stuff to Kyle! Raindrops glanced, but nodded. Okay, I eat lunch. Then I show you fun things. Lunch? Snails looked around. What lunch? As if on cue, Pinkie Pie and a gray-coated pony trotted down the road and field. Easel was towing a wagon behind them. Juggernaut! Called Pinkie in her usual sing-song voice. Your super special pies are taking a corner here! The other pony upended her wagon and dumped several boulders onto the field. So are your rocks. She droned. Raindrops frowned as Juggernaut tried to Pinkie's wagon. Pinkie Pie, too, seemed confused. There's a lot of pints, she commented. Do you need any pony to start with? Meaning a Pinkie Pie pony with a peasant for peace, pear, and pineapple pies? She suddenly hugged the gray pony, who Raindrops vaguely remembered for Jackalope Valley Festival. Her also Sister Maud? You can share it with us, said Snips. We like pie, too. Niet. It's all for me. Juggernaut opened her mouth wide and crammed the pie into it. After chewing and gulping it down, she added, I eat a lot. She gestured to her massive form to maintain build. The Foles gasped as Juggernaut consumed a second pie. Awesome! sighed Pipsqueak. Pinkie's eyes were wide. You realize what this means? She shouted at Maud. And I'm right down and bulked up because I can eat 5 pies at once too. I could be enjoying so much more pie. She lets the horse and seized her sister by shoulders. Alright, we need weights, treadmills, big rocks, and a shouting pony to yell so we don't do enough push-ups. Do you know any shouting ponies? Maud frowned. Well, she said after a long moment, right now, there's you. As Pinkie laughed, Juggernaut ate the rest of her pies, then stood to approach the rocks. What are you doing? Called Applebloom as the big man raised a hoof high. You can't bust through a rock. Of course I can, Juggernaut grinned. I'm Juggernaut. Her horn glowed, enveloping her legs in a purple glow. She attacked a boulder. Her host thundered into it, striking several blows in just under 2 seconds. For a moment, nothing happened. Then the rock broke apart as it were paper mache. It's not hard for me. Wow, the Foles gasped. Juggernaut proceeded to attack several other boulders, breaking some with her hooves and chopping others into pieces with her sword. The Foles scattered by the fence, recessed and lunch entirely forgotten and watched. Only when Juggernaut had broken all the boulders did he start to calm down. Are you done? Called Scootaloo. Done, Juggernaut laughed. That's just warm up. To be warrior, boning must train for hours every day. So he began doing post-ups as Foles watched. If you train too, maybe someday you'll be as big and strong as Juggernaut. Foles began murmuring to each other, and a few Raindrops saw were already starting to do push-ups. She scowled and flew away as Charlie came outside to see what was going on. What do you mean my new assignment is to follow Juggernaut around with a cloud? Snapped Raindrops from Rainbow Desk. How's that part of the scheduled weather? Raindrops shrugged. Look, all I know is she asked for it, and I take the rules. As long as we finish all the weather, doesn't matter if one of us goes on special assignment. She clapped Raindrops on the shoulder. So you fly over her head and she roll a cloud. I'll handle your shifts. Raindrops chattered at her. Why would you do that? Because she gave me these. Rainbow's Dazz's eyes shone as she showed Raindrops a pair of black and silver wing plates. They're a new prototype from Fisher Aviation. You put these over your wings and you go like 20% faster. She grinned to play her on. Isn't that the greatest? I mean, when she asked if I could arrange for an element of harmony to hang out with her in exchange, of course I said yes, anybody would. Raindrops felt rain on her head beginning to bulge. Please tell me this is an elaborate practical joke. Nope. Raindrops started to claw at Raindrops, which smacked into her muzzle. See ya by Sweet Apple Acres. See you later. Juggernaut asked Raindrops to duel twice more before her shift was over. When it was finally time to go home for the day, Raindrops threw her cloud back to the weather control as quickly as she could, then stopped at Barry's bar on the way home to drink large cider. Ugh, she muttered. What a day. Over a half hour passed as she nursed her cider. When she was finally done, she paid, left, trying home at a good clip. Snails would likely be done with a after-school bug hunt, she thought. Maybe be up for a game of checkers. After everything that had happened, it'd be nice to just relax with her brother and forget everything else. And if Juggernaut knocks again, I'll just ignore her. If she keeps knocking, I'll have her arrested for disturbing the peace. Raindrops nodded to herself as she approached her house, opened the door. Mom! Raindrops! I challenge you to duel! Raindrops' mouth dropped as she saw Juggernaut squeeze into the front hallway. She was so massive she almost completely spanned the room. Raindrops couldn't have moved around her as she wanted. What are you doing here? She screamed. I ran into her while I was collecting bugs, called Snails from somewhere behind Juggernaut, and I told her how cool her exercises were, and she said she could come home with me and tell Mom and Dad about some training programs. His voice was so gleeful it was cracking and squeaking. To help me become as strong as you. Raindrops pushed her hose against the wall to stop herself from moving forwards and throttling Juggernaut. Keenly aware she was digging holes into the wood, she hissed her gritted teeth. Get out of my house! Your penance is fight to the end. I know trespass. I'm uninviting you! Get lost! Juggernaut waited a few seconds and then slowly back towards the door. Raindrops had to leave the house for Juggernaut to get outside and pass her. I see you, Tornado, she said. Maybe we do it then. Raindrops strangled a growl in her throat before it escaped her mouth. But couldn't stop her eyes from bulging slightly in rage. Juggernaut turned to look at her, but didn't even seem to notice her rage. She just trotted away as if everything was all right. When she was gone, Snails poked his head out the door. Why'd you do that? He asked, looking at Raindrops with dripping eyes. Don't you want me to become big and tough? Raindrops sank to the ground, her anger fading at the sight of her brother. She reached out and gathered him into a hug. I do, Snails, but she's not nice. You shouldn't hang out with her. I can find you another gym teacher if you really want. But I like her, said Snails. She has a cool sword, it can punch rocks in half, and when I showed her my butt collection, she paid attention. He frowned. What's wrong with her? Raindrops trailed off. If she said that Juggernaut was the sister of one of the vigilantes that almost killed him, he'd probably be traumatized. I need you to trust me, she said, stroking his mane. Do you trust your big sister? Snails nodded. His mane rustled, and the Hercules beetle poked his head out, nuzzling against Raindrops' hoof. She smiled and patted his shell before continuing. Then promise me you'll stay away from her. I'll talk with Trixie and the others. We'll sort this out, okay? Okay, Snails paused. But I'm still gonna try to become big and strong. He added, I'll make you real proud of me. He smiled, and his beetle buzzed in the air, after a few moments before settling on his nose. Levi will become big and strong too. Well, bigger and stronger. We'll make a great team. I know you will. Raindrops hugged Snails again. Now head inside. I'm going to talk to Trixie. Then after dinner we'll play checkers, okay? Or you can tell me some bug stories. Snails brightened at that and quickly scampered inside. Raindrops waited until his host steps were away, then shut the door behind him, and headed back to Trixie's house. So he entered through the unlocked front door and was surprised to find 4 of the other 5 elements in the living room. Where's Carrot Top? She asked, noticing the answer to the yellow mare. Talking to Mario Scrolls about that field thing, said Cherry Larry. She thinks Scrolls is stalling on making a ruling. She waved her raindrops over and draped a warm fuzzy blanket on the weather mare, while she finally sank into the blood scouts. But it's okay. I talked to the mayor earlier today, and so there's several precedents that could help Raindrop's case. I'm sure she'll decide for Raindrop by tomorrow at least. Carrot Top by tomorrow at least. And I want to, chirped Trixie. To wield my influence, remind Ivory Scrolls that, though she may be mayor, I am the representative of the Night Court of Luna, of all the power and prestige that position implies. Every point looked at her. Tracy blusts. Okay, mostly I helped carry all the law textbooks Shirley wanted to have on hoof. As Sierra struggles to weigh the hoof. Details. Anyways, how's Sierra's situation? Raindrops. Bad. Raindrops scowled as she sank under the blanket. I'll put it this way. Waiting for Juggernaut to leave isn't going to work. If only because my head's going to explode after another few days of her following around and badgering me. Talking your way to my house doesn't annoy me more. Her eyes flashed. I am tired of her. Uh-oh, said Lyra, giving Raindrops a friendly smile. We'll need to do something then, before your head explodes. We don't want to clean Raindrops' brains from Trixie's carpet. Nearest laughs, but Raindrops barely smiled. What can we do? She asked once the room quieted down. There has to be some way to throw her out of town. We have a few options. Trixie raised the hoof, began to tick him off. If she breaks the law, we can just arrest her. Otherwise, Mayor Hare can infect her for trespassing. Like she did with that Zabroni dork who wanted to duel me for my position. I can file a formal complaint with the noble in charge of a province, which I guess is whoever Fisher, hopefully, some point sane. And, all else fails, we can go to Luna. I don't care how big Juggernaut is. A visit by the Princess of the Night tends to make most police think twice before they continue whatever it is they're doing that annoys her. And if she doesn't leave, asked Raindrops, because she really doesn't act like somebody who cares what other police tell her to do. The other police looked at each other before Charlie spoke. Then I guess we all fire, she said. We take it on the tyrant, son. I think we could be a glorified security guard. Raindrops let out a long breath. She wanted Juggernaut out immediately, before the revenge-crazed mayor did something more annoying or offensive. But she knew she had to control herself, only to avoid spooking snails by causing a scene. Okay, she muttered at last. Guess they'll have to do.